Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. This is how not to play Gall. So, Gall is the other half of Cho, and he performs a bunch of abilities. He is completely dependent on Cho to move around. One thing I did not mention in the cho'gall or the Cho portion of the cho'gall video is that Gall, if your teammate gets disconnected, you're completely at the mercy of that AI if you're playing as Gall. That AI will send you anywhere. There's nothing you could do about it. The only kind of ability you could do to influence the AI is to use their Gall's Z ability. Cho gets the mount, Gall does not with Z. Instead, he gets like a shove that's like a 60-second cooldown. It's a small little, just an itty-bitty nudge out of the way. So, like, say if there's a huge AoE, say Kel'Thuzad's AoE that comes off the ground, heroic ability, you can nudge him, the Cho out of that, so long as the Cho doesn't go back into it. It's happened to me before. But anyways, that's just a quick side note. So if you are playing with a player who plays Cho, make sure that they have a stable internet connection, because otherwise, I've had an AI Cho, and it is not fun. So anyways, Gall's Q is Shadow Flame. It is a straight line skill shot. Deal with a hex damage to enemies in the area. Next, you have Dread Orb, one of the worst abilities in the game, IMO. You throw a bomb that will bounce 3 times, doing X damage to enemies. So basically, it is a straight line skill shot, and you get to control, it's 3 spaces, kind of similar to Gul'dan's Corruption, except you get to control how spaced out the circles get. It can go pretty far, but it's a very slow. It's like a bouncing ball, and the circles dictate where the ball is going to land, and wherever the ball lands, if it hits an enemy, they take that damage. But it is very slow. You can do it really close to Cho, and it bounces kind of fast, but it's one of the worst abilities. Like, you'll see this eventually. Next we have his E, Runic Blast. Detonate Cho's Rune Bomb, dealing X damage around it. So in my cho'gall, I was talking about how Cho can roll out a bomb. It literally looks, I call it the bowling ball, because it looks like he's rolling out a bowling ball. You can, whenever you see that as a Gall, you want to watch that ball, try to get to near an enemy, and then activate the E to damage enemies with it. You have to be very cognizant and watching it. This is why it's also important to have voice communication, so that way they can say, I'm throwing out the bomb. So that way you can have that mental click and be like, okay, cool, I can watch out for that. Next we have his trait, Ogre Rage. This is the other part of their trait. Activates to increase Gall's damage by 25%, but reduce Cho's armor by 25. Gall is permanently immune to stun and silence effects. So that means even if Cho gets silenced, Gall is not. Next we have his first heroic Shadow Bolt Volley. This is a straight line skill shot. After 1 second, unleash 20 Shadow Bolts over 4 seconds, each dealing 8x damage to the first target hit. The bolts fire towards your mouse. So basically, if you're familiar with Diablo, his ult where he breathes a lightning breath, you can move Diablo around with your mouse. You could do the exact same thing with this ultimate, except it is very, very slow. So basically, if there's a target on your complete left side, you do not want to try to reach around, or you do not want to start on the opposite side and then try to whip around with the R. It's just a great way to, the mouse tracking is just a great way to try to follow an enemy as Cho is moving. Next we have Twisting Nether. It is a AoE around Gall. After 1 second, nearby enemies are slowed by 50%, while Gall channels up to 5 seconds. Activate to deal X damage. It is just an okay CC. I'm not a big fan of this one. Even the upgrade doesn't make it worth it, because you teleport and then you start channeling. I mean, okay, it's a great escape, but this is an okay. This seems more like a tank CC. It's like it's more CC than damage, and Gall is a ranged assassin compared to Cho's tank. I don't know, but anyways, that's Gall. Let's get into him. It's pretty rare to see an MVP cho'gall. Okay, guys, we find ourselves on Tower of Doom again. I'm not even joking here. We literally just finished up the Cho video together, and then we got onto the Gall one as me as Gall, obviously, and it was Towers of Doom. And I'm pretty sure the Sylvanas that was with us is the exact same Sylvanas too. You can't make this shit up. All right, So, Gall is a little bit more relaxed. I'll have more time to talk about my abilities and everything, since I don't have to concentrate on being a tank. I can just sit back and just wonder where he's going to take us, wonder why he's doing that. Just kidding. So, we're going to go with... we see you. Because we want to be able to scout out that Nova. We're going to drop that right there, and we're going to drop this right here. It's always important to be using your Eye of Kilrog off cooldown as much as possible. Okay. So this is his Q. It's a straight line skill shot, as I mentioned before. It's just like that. This is the W I was talking about. That's an absolute crap. Now we watched that E go out, and we activated our E as we did it. Now this one. Now watch this Q, or W. That's 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. One of the most worthless talents, IMO, or abilities. We're going to drop that on him. Right there. We're going to steal his trait from him. That would... Because right now we're not in a huge team fight. I screwed up that Q. I could have got a hit on Arthas, but that's okay. Everyone was there to make sure that I look good. I don't know what I'm saying. Her name is Navusis. I just read that. Blah. That was a really dumb thing of Arcanus to do. He could have got caught up in there and stuck on that enemy team. We're gonna watch this. I was hoping that Stitches would move back, so that's why I waited to activate it, but... Okay, we're gonna activate Eye of Kilrog right there, so that way he sees it. Good escape. Remember, you can take back trait anytime you want.
Yeah, I should have taken it back there. I'll take it back right now just in case, because it's getting a little hairy again.
We're gonna activate that down there. We're gonna... Rah!
I didn't notice how low he was on mana.
Alright. So I usually like to go with Bombs Away, because once again, I'm a sucker for quest talents. Plus, I really love... to me, Gall's shining ability is his Runic Blast, because you can silence the heroes and you can empower it, as long as you're smart enough to be paying attention to where the enemies are and hit them with it. This is a good map for Runic Blast as well, or for the bowling ball. Oh, I did not mean to throw you back into that. I meant to get you. I was trying to use my Q to hit him, and I hit Z at the same time. Oof,
yeah,
that was all bad.
I'm just gonna back out.
That's a good idea.
Come on.
We are 2 levels down. This is not good. We may need to give up this tribute.
Yeah, we might.
They're gonna about. We're 3 levels down now. If we can get this pick on Thrall, that would help out a lot.
Ooh. That was bad. Good returns.
Hopefully those 2 are smart enough to realize that they need to get out. Does not look like they... Well, it looks like Kael'thas is.
Yeah.
Let's go top and soak.
Yeah.
It's gone. We need soakage bad. We are 2 levels down. We have not been soaking our lanes, unfortunately. Yeah.
Why is it not going by?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, I'm pathing this game.
Also, one thing to note that I forgot to mention, the cho'gall intros and such, that Gall does not have a auto attack. It's all, he's all abilities. We're gonna take a trait, that way we can deal some extra damage to his towers, hopefully get some XP from this. Bottom 4 is going to get wrecked. Alright. We need to go to objective.
Yep.
Nope, it's gone.
Nope.
Let's get this fort. Let's trade forts.
Yeah.
He's about to get ours. Let's get theirs.
Yeah.
Okay, it's way over here, so we have some
Come on,
sight.
why is it not? There it goes. Yeah. Ugh. Too overcommitted. Yeah.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
I love this. I love Heroes of the Storm so much. So we're gonna go with Double Trouble because why not? Let's go for all the quest talents. That's what winning people. That's what pros do.
Yeah.
So they got bot fort, mid fort. We need to go for objective.
Yeah.
They're about to get 10. This is not an engagement we want, but we need to. Otherwise, they're going to have objective. Put that down there. Put that up here. Well.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is but the darkness before the dawn.
I love these attitudes.
My curse upon
Lovely attitudes.
It really is.
We live again. Eternal we are.
The best thing we could do now is just call this first set a bad engage and everything, and just get some soakage, protect our forts, and or our keeps mainly, I guess. Basically, turtle down and get our levels evened out. I don't know what the hell this Kael'thas is doing. I say he's feeding, but he's thick with it. Or he tried to peace out, so I don't know.
Oh, the Sylvanas is clever there too.
Sylvanas got ulted by Stitches where he gorged him. Or,
Yikes.
oh, and they got boss. Well, at least that was a little bit of a waste for them. We need to get top. Protect that.
Yep.
curse end. Until someone wins my favor.
Okay. So you definitely do not want to get boss during a curse. You want to have a boss before the curse starts. That way you're not out of lane, out of position while the boss, because it takes a long time to get boss. Because they went to get boss, they did not get any keeps. I guaranteed if they had decided not to go for boss, they could have gotten one of our keeps. And that would have helped them more than wasting time on that boss, which did pretty much nothing. All it did was get rid of one of our towers. Which, I mean, it hurts, but it's not the worst thing to happen. Compared to losing a keep, where we'd have constant catapult pressure so early. Okay, we finally got our ults. We're going to go Shadow Ball Volley just because I do not like the other one. We're going to tap a little bit. There we go. We're going to go ahead and use our ult. That way we can get this fort down fast. And let's get out before we get ganked.
Yes, sir. Ooh. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for some reason we ult tank instead of brawl. They both ulted on the tank. They're over there talking mad smack about how the game is played, and they both ulted the tank.
Yes, we can still win this match.
We really can. Well, we're 3 levels down. It's gonna be really fucking rough. And we have 2 ults down.
Yeah. I get you. Dope. That was went off the for me. Okay, Artanis.
Yep. Just one at a time. And they got bot boss too. That's GG now. There's no coming back from this.
Good lord. Yep, we're 4 levels right now.
Yep.
But I keep up.
So we're gonna activate our trait. That way we can deal more damage quickly to this boss. We're gonna ult it down. We're gonna do everything we can to try to save this keep. I don't think we're gonna save it, but we're gonna try. Holy shit, we saved it. So instead of trying to help the team get the alright, go mid lane.
Yes,
The
sir.
safe way. Through
The
our
safe
base.
way?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just trying to mount so we get around for it. Sorry.
You're all good. We're gonna go with some shadows. Be careful. Get out of position.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kill him. Nope, didn't even get that guy.
That's why you don't ult the tanks.
Yeah.
And fire spawners. So they are 4 levels up. They have a keep of ours. 1 keep is about to go down as well. There's going to be a catapult right there. Yep, there it is. It's going to push up. It's going to get this down because I guarantee you they're not paying. The friendly team is not paying attention. So that keep that we tried so hard to protect just got wrecked by some minions. And they got top boss too. Excellent.
Perfect.
And drop that over there, and then drop that right there. So we can see whenever they come up. Okay, so now we're gonna ult this boss.
I think my Sunder has effect on it.
I don't think so either.
No, I thought I'd try anyways, just in case.
Okay, what do we have to lose at this point? And that's no way we can make this in at all. He gorged out of her ult. GG. And that's why cho'gall is not a good hero to play, because each of our deaths counted as 2 deaths, because it's 2 players in 1. But the flip side of that is that cho'gall can really stick to a team fight and stick there. Look at that. And be in there. The trick with cho'gall is to ignore him. You take out the entire team around him, and then you focus cho'gall, because otherwise he's just going to wreck your faces while you're trying to take down his massive health pool. The only time that really goes, that rule really changes is whenever you have a Tychus or a Mathiel on your team and you're trying to kill a cho'gall, because they can deal percentage damage, and it's just like their cho'gall is a paper thin. One of the worst things you can see as a cho'gall is see a Tychus or a Mathiel, because you're just like, well, I'm dead. GG. So glad I could have been here. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just call this video a good one. That way you have a good idea of cho'gall. The Cho video, you got to see a good cho'gall play, and then Gall, you can see what can go wrong as a Gall. I know that typically I like to show off the rest of the abilities, but Gall, there's not much to show off. He's not that fun. He is fun if you're looking for just pretty much a brain dead match where you just want to switch off your brain, let someone else take the wheel, and you just kind of throw out abilities as you go along. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a great day. Take care.